Well, I like to see the budget to be very people's friendly, especially commoner like me or man on the street, where affordability in terms of running a household is very important. Basic stuff like provision, cost of the utilities. I hope some concession into all that, especially for the middle income and the low income. The houses that used to be priced double-story linked, that used to be 150, 180,000, today is averaging anything about 400,000 onwards and above. For families like ours, for us to afford a house like that, it is going to become very, very difficult. Duration of the loan amount that is to be taken is going to be very heavy on us. Whether are we going to qualify with the banks, financial institutions or not. So as a result of it, it will hamper our effort and our morale is going to go down. So we hope that the government could look into this, come up with various schemes to help the public to own their own property, at least a shelter.
As far as for the education system, I think the government should provide more funds. The $100 is actually, all we can say is better than nothing, but it doesn't really help that much. Perhaps maybe if it is double the amount, then it could be utilized for other things like their stationery, which is quite expensive, and also maybe can be utilized for their school uniforms and all the other school requirements. The government should try to build up this childcare centers which are close to the workplace so that the mothers can work without worrying about their children. And these childcare centers to be supervised, if possible, by the government, because we do not want cases where child abuse and all those kind of other problems which are ongoing nowadays to reoccur. And if that is going to happen, then it really defeats the purpose of having this kind of child care centers. So if the government can look into that in the new budget, that would be very beneficial for the mothers. And maybe mothers like me can go back to work.
A reduction in car prices, okay, so that we could change a car rather than driving a 13-year-old car. So those are some of the things, affordability again. BRIM should be there forever, and after 55 years of independence, I think the country should carry on doing this noble cause, because it is aimed for the poor, to help the old and needy and the poor. I think it's a good way of government's appreciation to the rakyat, and I think this tradition should carry on. One Malaysia clinics, I think they are good, no doubt about that. But often we realize that when we go to the one Malaysia clinic, the issue is that when someone is sick, if it's fever and cold, it's fine. You get normal paracetamol and all that. But if you have a problem like diabetic, you need some insulin, type of insulin and all that, the doctor will give you a prescription and ask you to go and buy from the pharmacy. And this medication, the specialized medication generally, the non-generic drugs tend to be very expensive. If the government could look into all this, that would be another plus point. If the state of Selangor can do it, 20% or certain meter cubes of water, I don't see why National Electricity Board, that is enjoying the monopoly of power, can't reduce their tariffs. As it is, as every year the cost of the electricity is going up, the tariffs are going up. So if something can be done by the federal government, today we have a lot of additional source like solar farms, windmills and all that, alternative energies, resources. Why not? Hope, though there's a lot of LRT projects, stations are coming up, but the major criteria is the accessibility from the Taman to the LRT station. If that service, that frequency could be increased, especially during the peak hours, that would really help a lot of us.
In the coming budget for the family would be Perhaps the reduction of taxes so that the money can be used for other more beneficial purposes such as the children's education, and also the property prices and all those to be reduced. Do not have the plan to move out to a bigger home because I think maintaining this is also quite difficult. Prices keep escalating and there's no way I think we can move out to a bigger home. Maybe we have to come down to a smaller home, yes, perhaps.
A good people's budget is all the goodies for a man on the street. That is a good budget. That's how I define. A man on the street, a commoner could say, well, I'm happy about it. My cost of living has not increased. I'm still being able to spend within what I earn.